All right, I'm going to kick it on one more time, and then we're going to call it a night. So hey everybody, welcome back to Bow and Arrow Garage. So it has been forever since I made a video, and quite frankly I have just been super busy in my personal and professional life, and I haven't had time to even really work on the car. I worked on it probably 6 or 7 hours in the last 6 weeks, so just kind of hit and miss here a little bit, and most of that actually was one afternoon. I just kind of needed to get away and just kind of chill out a little bit, so I didn't video any of it, but I want to show you what I'm doing. I'm working on the C3 Corvette. Right now my main focus is just getting the computer wired into the to the body harness, and also getting my fuel pump wired in. So that's what I'm going to work on today. I'll kind of show you where I'm at, and then we'll go from there. As you can see over there, I've got the computer mounted, I've got my relay box mounted, and these are the wires for the fans. Obviously I don't have my radiator or my fans in yet, so once I get that in I'll wire everything up. I made a big mistake, and in just being honest, I usually don't make mistakes like this. I'm pretty attentive to detail, but when you're modifying the wire harness, they talk about in LT1swap.com that you're going to have some sensors, and it's going to have a power wire, and you're going to trace it back to a splice. And you're going to have grounds also that you trace back to a splice, and it basically just says to just snip it at the splice. And so I was doing that, and I've done this before. I modified my truck wire harness. It's been quite a while, but I guess I just got a little gung-ho, and so I ended up putting my wire harness in, and I had 3 wires that I couldn't figure out where they went to. And what I ended up doing is I cut out the power wires for the injectors, for the coil packs, and for the sensors. So I ended up having to open up the wire harness again and going back in and splicing those wires back in. You can actually see right on my finger that pink wire right there, that's one of them. So anyways, today I'm going to continue trying to just clean up this wire harness. I got my fuel wire, my fuel pump wiring all wired in. I ran the wire through this loom right here in the car. I've got to end up securing that, but I ran it through the back passover back in here, and let me get a little bit of light in here. You can see that red wire, and it's going through the antenna feed through back there. So that is my power wire for my fuel pump, and it goes over to the fuel pump relay. So anyways, so I've got a few more things I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to run a wire, this old red wire here, that is the wire for the horn relay that's going over to the starter. I'm actually going to just take that off completely. That was one of the wires that came with the car. The wire's old. It's really not appropriate for automotive use. It's got just a few strands, but really thick strands. I'm going to end up using a wire, and I think I'm going to tie it into my alternator stud instead of going all the way across the car back over to the starter. So anyways, I'm going to work on that a little bit, and then I'll hopefully get this thing done. My goal today is to be able to put battery power on the car with the wire harness all hooked up, and to pull my program out of my computer. That way, make sure all my OBD2 port works. That way I can start actually working on the tune for the car. I'm getting that close. So hopefully all I really have left on the wire harness besides the power wire for the horn relay is all my grounds. I've got grounds sticking out everywhere, at least here they are. I've got ground wires everywhere, so I need to get all my ground wires basically ready to go and hooked up, and then we are there. So So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and work on this wire for the horn relay, and then try to get these grounds together, and then we'll go from there. I'm getting a lot deeper into this today than I really planned on. I wasn't really planning on messing with these wires that go down to the fuse block down in here, but I'm going to go ahead and end up pulling it apart just because I'm trying to get my wires just wire routing, wire management kind of in order, and it's just such a mess. I went ahead and reloomed the engine wiring harness, but I've got to get some of these body wires in the right place because it's just a mess right now. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pull that apart, and then clean up any wires that aren't being used. I'll trace them back later. Right now I'm just interested in the ones that I am using. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and continue working. Okay guys, I'm getting it together. I'm just about done. I've got one more ground wire to run, and that is for my OBD2 port. Everything else is connected. This is the ground for my wiper motor, so I'm going to go ahead and hook that up with this ground for the OBD2. And then I got to finalize the wiring over here. It's pretty much done. I've just got to loom it up, make sure everything's out of the way of the exhaust. And that's kind of pretty much it. Okay folks, we're to the point where I think I'm going to go ahead and hook up the battery. Before I do, I'm going to pull the fuel pump relay because I don't have any fuel in it. This is going to be the first time I hook up the battery with all the computer and everything wired in. So hopefully everything is good. I'm usually pretty confident, but I talked about the mistake I made with the power wires for the injectors and coil packs and stuff. So yeah, so it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to be kind of saying a little prayer and crossing my fingers and hoping for the good. But basically everything is looking a lot better now. I did a lot of cleanup today. I've spent several hours working on the wire harness and the loom and different things. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and hook up the battery. I've got my wife standing by with a fire extinguisher just in case something goes up in smoke. It's probably not going to, but like I said, it's always good to be safe, especially because the car, I can't really take it out of the garage. So if it goes into smoke, I want her to just let me know. That way I can disconnect the battery real quick and she can put out the fire. Alright, so I got the battery hooked up. I don't see any smoke, so that's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and kick on my master switch and see if any fuses blow. So as you can see, that blue LED right there, that's going to be the master switch. I'm going to go ahead and switch it off. So a common issue on these old vehicles is that the ignition is not hot in both crank and run. It's only hot in crank. And so you basically have to hot wire a wire into it so that your fuel pump relay and your basically your sensors, your coils, and your injectors power up. So sorry, I'm thinking about things and looking at things. So that's what I have wired into here, into my power. And so anyway, so we're good there. I'm going to go ahead and go get some gas. I'm going to put some fuel in it, and then I'm going to turn on the actual the fuel pump relay. I'm going to do a leak check and make sure I don't have any fuel leaks. I think I might go ahead and hook up my my code reader to it just to see if it'll read the codes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hook up my code reader to my OBD2 port and see if it pulls anything up and see if I can clear faults on it. So. Alright, got the beep beep. And it shows to be reading, so we'll see if it pulls anything up here in a second. Alright, showed error. I'm going to try to let it read one more time. I've got a lot of stuff disconnected, so but honestly it should not read error, it should read. Alright, so let me try to disconnect it again. Actually, I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to plug it back in. And I'm going to turn on the master switch. Alright, that's what it was. I had the master switch off. So right now I have one of four codes. I have P0405. I have a P0452, a P0405, and a P0452 again. So I'm going to go ahead and try to erase them. And let it read again, and it'll probably be the same codes. Okay, so I have just a P0452 now. Alright, so I'm going to look that up and see what it is. But hey, we are reading our codes, so that means that everything is good as far as the wiring goes on the OBD2. The computer is probably good also. So anyways, I think we're in business. So let's see what a P0452 is. And I've got all kinds of codes because I need to do the tune, obviously. But we're all kinds of flashing and bending codes. But yeah, so it looks good. We'll grab my phone and we'll see what that 0452 is. So basically it says it just doesn't have many symptoms. You may detect a strange sin in the emissions, or the fuel economy may be slightly lowered. It's probably because my oxygen sensors aren't hooked up yet. So I actually don't have O2 sensors. The wiring's just hanging loose. So anyways, that's to be expected. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and go grab some gas. I'm going to put a little gas in this thing, and then we'll see if the fuel pump kicks on. Alright folks, I'm getting ready to put some gas in this thing for the first time since I did the engine swap. So here it goes. Just going to put a couple of gallons in it right now. I wanted to put power on for the first time without any fuel in it, just in case we had an issue. I had my fuel pump relay pulled. I'm going to go ahead and put some fuel in it, and then I'm going to put my relay in. And then we'll kick it back on, and we should hear the relay come on. Alright, there she goes. I'm going to pop the relay back in real quick, and then we'll hook with the battery. So the one thing that I'm realizing is where I located the relay panel. It's not super accessible, but it kind of, I have a lot of, really limited access on this car, so kind of is what it is, but I'm happy with it. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to get the relays in and out. So here we go, we're going to hook with the battery. So hopefully you can hear the fuel pump relay when it kicks on. And there it went, 1001, 1002, 1003. All right, I'm gonna do a little leak check. Okay, I don't see any fuel leaking here. No leaks there. No signs of leakage. Nope, it's all dry. I do not like the way that thing sits, that fuel line. I'll have to work on it a little bit more, but right now the goal is to make sure we don't have any fuel leaks, and we don't, so I'm very pleased. Alright, I'm going to kick it on one more time, and then we're going to call it a night. Alright guys, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very happy with it. Okay guys, so that's going to be it for this video, and man, oh man, am I excited about what we got accomplished. This car is coming together finally. The wiring was a real pain in the neck. I mentioned that the mistake I had made, and like I said, it's pretty out of character for me, but hey, I mean, none of us are perfect, so it just caused me to do a little backtracking and go back in and fix my issue, but everything is working as advertised. The OBD2 port is communicating with the computer. The fuel pump relay is kicking on for 3 seconds. Man, and then shutting off is just perfect. So no fuel leaks. I'm just really excited. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to go ahead and shut this video down. As you can see, I'm pretty sweaty. It's been humid all day. It's not too hot, but man, it's been humid, and we're supposed to get a good cold front coming in the next couple of days. So finally, we need a little cool air coming in here. So anyways, with that being said, I want to say, hey, thanks for watching the video, and I apologize that it was so long in coming, but it's back on track. And don't forget, we have a super clean giveaway coming up in the next video or two. And with that being said, man, we're going to try to get this thing cranked up. I'm going to go ahead and try to do the tune myself. I'm going to go ahead this week and try to pull the old tune off the computer and then start looking at it. So I'm going to have to make a lot of changes, and I may be in above my head, but we'll see how far we can go. And then if we have to call in the backup, we will. But anyways, I'm gonna really do. I'm gonna give it the old college try and see if I can get it done. But once again, with that being said, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you coming back. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. Make sure to share it with a friend, and I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks a lot. Have a great night, and we hope to see you again soon.